Alright guys, political video for you tonight. So my average YouTube video seems to be getting about 500 views per video, somewhere in that ballpark. A few of them top out at about 300 views and they don't get much more than that. Some of them top out at around 3,000 views, but if I had to average it out, I'd say about 500, 600, somewhere in that ballpark. That's how many views I get on my average video. But I do not get 500 comments on my average video. What does that tell me logically? Well, it's quite simple. It tells me that the majority of people who watch a YouTube video never feel particularly compelled to leave a comment. They don't care. It's enough for them to just watch it, and they don't really feel the need to express an opinion and share that view with the world. But a percentage of people, after watching a video, do feel the need to leave a comment. But sometimes you watch a YouTube video and you have such a wealth of opinion that leaving a comment isn't enough, and you've got to make your own video about it. And it's at that moment, ladies and gentlemen, that you become a YouTuber. Well, that's how I feel after watching this debate, transgender mayor versus Crowder, on Louder with Crowder. You know, at first I was just going to leave a comment, and then I decided, I don't want my glorious opinion to be buried within these 1,157 comments that are just completely stupid. I'm like, look at some of these. Look at the top-rated comments here on this video, right? This guy Adolf Hitler says, "I'm fine with gays and lesbians, but transgender people are fucking weird." 308 upvotes on that comment. This guy Jake John says, "Oh my god, put that corpse back in the ground." 356 upvotes. This guy Svena Bolsevich says, "This dude wouldn't fool my 3-year-old son." 252 upvotes. This dude Zerastorm32 says, "Darth Sidious has nice hair." 185 upvotes. This guy Autistic Albatross says, "Not my proudest fap." 182 upvotes. Although, to be fair, that is fucking funny. But it gives you an idea of what kind of people Steven Crowder has in his audience, which includes people like me. I'm a Crowder fan, but my point is, the comments section on this one is just a cesspool of retardation. I didn't want to hock a loogie into that pool. I had to make a video on this. So, as I said, I'm a Steven Crowder fan. I want to put that front and center. I want to say that first. I'm a fan of what Crowder does. Primarily, I'm talking about his comedy. That's what he's good at. That's what he excels in. He's a funny guy. He's a comedian. He's a right-wing themed comedian. And he's very good at that. He's very good at what he does. He's been talking about the transgender bathroom issue quite a bit lately. In one of his recent videos, I think it's the very last one previous to this one, he did a crank call where he placed a call to a Target department store, pretending to be a parent who was upset that his 9-year-old daughter saw a transgendered individual in the ladies' room and saw a penis. and I upvoted that one right away. I liked that video. It was hilarious. I laughed. I had a good time. I guess the reason he did this is Target stores have a policy of allowing transgendered people to use the bathroom of their choice, and Crowder's against that. So he decided to make a crank call to hilarious result. And it was a great video. It was funny. I laughed. He laughed. We all laughed. It was a good time. But I watched this video right here that he put out today, debate transgender mayor versus Crowder. And let me say this, okay? When it comes to the issue of transgendered people, um, I'm very much of the opinion that I don't consider that it's possible to change your gender in a real biological sense. I don't. So let me just use an example here. When we talk about Chelsea Manning, you'll frequently hear me lapse into referring to her as Bradley Manning, or using male pronouns and referring to her as he. I mean, I do this all the time. I'm not even sure that I do it consciously as some kind of political rhetoric. It's just what my mind does, because I knew Chelsea Manning as Bradley Manning first. And that was my initial impression of Bradley Manning is like, he's a dude. So for him to suddenly transition and become Chelsea, my mind is unable to shift gears like that. I just can't do it. Even if I wanted to, even if I wanted to believe that Bradley Manning has become a woman, I can't force my mind to accept that. It's just not something I'm capable of. Maybe that's a generational difference. Maybe there are some millennials and Zeds out there that can just they can just roll with the punches and flip their perceptions like a light switch and just go, up, yep, Chelsea Manning, she's a female. Maybe I'm just old. Maybe I'm a lumbering dinosaur who can't accept the new reality. I don't know, but I just can't do it. Um, I also think there are some worrisome statistics concerning transgendered individuals, such as the suicide rate. We all know about this. There's no reason for me to cite sources, because you guys all know what I'm talking about. Um, and I kind of look at it from the perspective of, if you don't hate gay people, if you support gay rights, then why would you want people to make a decision which is possibly ill-advised and could lead to their own death, when they end up regretting it and committing suicide? Um, when it comes to the whole transgender issue in general, um, I wouldn't say that I'm anti-transgender, and I'm certainly not pro-transgender either. I'm kind of on the fence about the whole thing. And when it comes specifically to the issue of transgenders in the bathroom, this, apart from it being like very humorous, and getting a few laughs at a Steven Crowder crank call, I really kind of consider this a non-issue, because the way I look at it is this: if I really were what Steven Crowder were pretending to be when he made that crank call, that is to say, if I were the father of a 9-year-old girl who went into the ladies' room and there was a trans female in the ladies' room, I wouldn't be concerned about that whatsoever. It wouldn't bother me. I wouldn't be worried. Why? Well, quite simply, I know that a trans woman is not going to be looking at my daughter. I would be much more concerned about having a trans woman, which, let's call a spade a spade. I consider that more or less to be a gay man. I would be much more concerned about that individual being in the men's room with my 9-year-old son than I would be about that individual being in the ladies' room with my 9-year-old daughter, because I figure they really don't have any interest in my 9-year-old daughter. If they identify as a female, why would they be looking at a girl? Um, so it's not something I've gotten tied up in knots over. It's not something that I've managed to be able to work myself up into a frenzy over the way a lot of people on the right of the political spectrum seem to do. I guess I was on the fence about the whole thing. I've heard persuasive arguments one way and the other, I'm kind of undecided about it. But I have to say this: after watching this debate, transgender mayor versus Crowder, and I really recommend you guys go and watch this one, all 29 minutes and 31 seconds of it. I'm just going to come out and say this. I'm going to invite the butthurt and the derision and the criticisms that I'm sure I'm going to get for saying this, but it needs to be said. He, she, it, whatever you want to call the transgender mayor, she trounced Steven Crowder so fucking hard in this debate. It's like it's one of those things that makes you go ooh. Like when you watch a really nasty tackle on some kind of NFL game, it's like, oh man, ow. Like she just fucking trounced him. She fucking beat the shit out of him in this debate. And this video here isn't directed to Steven Crowder or anything. I'm sure he doesn't watch my shit, but just in case he does, though I'm sure you would never acknowledge watching this video, Crowder, if you are watching this, because I'm sure you enter your own name into a YouTube search once in a while. We all do that. If you are watching, and you take away one thing from this video right here, take this piece of advice, buddy. Stick to comedy. Debate is not your thing. You suck at it. You suck. Because in every way possible, I mean, this mayor just beat the shit out of Steven Crowder in this debate. Like, it was just 30 minutes of a fucking ass whooping. She had more facts, better rhetoric, and I'm just saying this as somebody who's a fan of debate in general, and someone who's engaged in plenty of them in 10 years here on YouTube, when the focus of my YouTube activity has always been topics that are subject to debate, such as politics, such as religion, philosophy, etc., and so forth. It's something I do frequently. And I consider that I've developed a critical eye for debates over the years. Man, she just fucking wiped the floor with Crowder. She fucking wiped the floor with this dude. It was nasty to watch. And he just kept fucking up over and over. Like he just several times he accuses the mayor of making an emotional argument, whereas Crowder, is arguing facts and science. But to anybody who is paying attention, anybody who's really looking at this with an impartial eye, it was clearly the opposite. He was the one making an emotional argument, and she was the one talking about science and facts. For him, it's just like, oh, I think this is freaky. I don't like the idea of my kid coming out of the bathroom needing a biology lesson, or my kid having questions for me. Hey, look, in 2017, your kid's going to have questions whether they see somebody weird looking in the bathroom or not, because they're going to turn on TV and find out what a transgender person is anyway. So there's no point shutting that fucking barn door when the horses are already out, if you ask me. But it's pretty clear that his position is a reactionary one, and it is an emotional position. He's the one making an emotional argument, and that's fucking like apparent and as obvious as the day is long. But not only that, I mean, he like just if I were a moderator actually scoring this debate with a point system, I mean, he just fucked up in so many ways. About halfway through, so I guess it'd be about the 15, 16 minute mark. The mayor hits him with this one. She says, "What would you do with intersex people? People who biologically are both male and female." And she basically says, "Well, what bathroom do you put them in?" To which Crowder responds, "Well, I would put them in the bathroom of the gender that they identify with, because," and then she cuts him off and she says, "Yeah, but biologically they are both male and female." And he says, "Well, yeah, but at a certain age they identify more with one than the other, and then medically that's how they'll be treated. They'll be treated as that gender." Well, Crowder, you just fucking put a sword through the heart of your own fucking argument right there. Because you're arguing for people being able to determine their own gender arbitrarily. I mean, that's it. That's game over. You lost the fucking debate halfway through. Because that makes the mayor's point for it. Like, her whole fucking argument is, yeah, people should be able to choose. They should be able to go into the bathroom of the gender that they identify with. And Steven Crowder for the whole debate is saying, no, biology, 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 science, science, science. But like I said, halfway through, she hits him with that curveball. Well, what do you do with somebody who's hermaphroditic biologically? They are both male and female. And he says, oh, well, we file them in the gender that they identify with, because then that's like what they really are. Well, you gave up. That's it. You gave up the ghost, Crowder. That's the debate. That's game over. You lose, sir. So I guess the reason I'm so astonished right now is I clicked on this video expecting to see a debate that would solidify my position on the transgender bathroom issue in favor of disallowing transgendered individuals to use the bathroom of the gender they identify with. That is to say, I clicked on this video expecting Steven Crowder to pwn this mayor and to win me over to his side, and instead the exact opposite happened. And the mayor's argument was so persuasive and so much stronger than Steven Crowder's that it swayed me way more to the other side of the fucking debate. So, Crowder, I mean, this is just, this is like political malpractice, man. You fucked up badly. You should just take this one down. I don't know what else to say. Besides, let me know what you think. People in my own audience, go and watch this fucking debate. Do you agree with me? I mean, maybe a lot of people will watch the same debate and reach the opposite conclusion. They'll say, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about, Fakesagan. Crowder pwned that fucking transgendered freak." Hey, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But I'm just saying, as somebody who's kind of sitting on the fence and didn't really have a strong opinion one way or the other, I went into this debate with no real preconceptions, and I was willing to be persuaded towards Crowder's point of view. But I just saw him get fucking trounced. And that's what I saw. I mean, from my perspective, that's what it looked like. Let me know what you think, guys. That's all the news that's fit to print. Keep it fake.